guys, welcome back to my channel. So starting off today, we're going to prime the eyelids with the Morphe eyelid primer. And so far I have been liking this primer over concealer and powder. I don't know if it's just because it's an actual primer that I like it better, or if because it's a lot easier. Starting off here, we're going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. We're going to pick up the creamsicle shade, I believe is what it's called, and begin to blend this as the transition color. We are putting a lot of shades in the transition color today for this look, so it's nice to have a light transition shade as we build up all the other ones we're putting into the crease and as we are blending. So just taking that shade on a fluffy brush and going from outer corner to inner corner, nicely applying it into the transition area. Picking up the orange shade in the palette, the light, we're going to go over that transition color basically and do the same motions from outer corner to inner corner. I am using the same fluffy brush just to make the transition shade just a tad bit on the orange side because we are going for a more summer yellow look today. So just begin to build this up and blend out both colors. That way there's a nice and even efficiency. Jumping into the Friendcation palette by Dose of Colors, picking up this dark brown shade, and we're going to use a more precise fluffy brush for the crease. So I'm slowly moving this color from the outer corner into the inner corner, mainly just focusing this color on the crease, and then as I have little to no product left on the brush, we are moving it upwards towards the transition shade. But I really want to focus this color in the crease because we are going to be cutting the crease for today's look. So really blend this color here. And then later on we'll go in with a darker color to deepen it up. But just focus on blending that one out. Picking up that creamsicle shade again. And we're just going to go back in with the first fluffy brush we had and blend out all of those transition shades. Again, just to make sure everything is nice and blended, no harsh lines, no patchiness. Everything is running smoothly and we are set to go to the next step. Picking up the dark brown shade in the Friendcation palette, now I'm going in with a more precise pencil brush like brush here, and we're going to begin to build up this color into the crease. So starting out in the outer corner and then slowly working our way into the inner corner, really just building this up into the crease. And as usual, as little to no product is left on the brush, then we'll start to blend it upwards towards the crease shade, but not as high as the transition shade. So really keep this focused in the crease and nice and deep. Then we're going to blend out all of those shades again, just using the brush that we used for the light brown shade. And we're going to go back in with our transition brush and blend all that out. Again, because we are using a lot of colors, we want to make sure we are blending on our way to the next shade. Here is where we're going to start to cut the crease. I did use the E.l.f. Cameo Concealer for this one today, and I just took some on the back of my hand and then drew a line down the center of my eyelid. I find this is a lot easier for me to cut the crease if I have a main center line, and then I work my way on the half side, and then I work my way to the outer side, kind of like a half circle. So you do one side first and then the next side after that. That just is the way it's easier for me. So I just work on the first half and then blend in the concealer and then work on the second half. And then after this, I do take a little bit more precise brush just to even up the crease line. But we're going to jump into the Morphe palette that they came out for Pride Month, pick up this gorgeous bright yellow shade here, and we're going to pack this onto the eyelid where we put concealer. You will see in this video that I really didn't know if I wanted to keep it like this or if I wanted to do glitter all over the eye, but you will see that decision come later. So for now, we're just packing on the yellow all over the eyelid to set that concealer and bring it up as closely as you can to the crease without getting yellow in the crease if you can. But then moving on here, we're going to go into the Colourpop Loose Glitters. This is one of the, I think, 8 new glitters that they came out with, and this is a beautiful pop of yellow glitter. It's amazing. I freaking love it. Gonna set that today with the NYX glitter primer. Again, just putting some on the back of my hand and then applying it with a flat brush onto the lid. I do start how I did with the basically cutting the crease. I draw a line down the middle and then I fan it outwards towards the left and the right side of the lid. First, I wanted to keep the glitter really focused in the center portion of the eye, but I really didn't like that. I decided to do glitter all over the eye. So for now, I'm just blending it out as if I'm going to put it in the center of the eye. Then dipping into the glitter shade here, and we're going to pack this onto the lid. When I tell you guys, these glitters are so reflective and so pigmented, I just almost about freaking screamed. They are so deliciously good. I do like to work little by little when it comes to loose glitters because I don't want to get so much fallout. There is fallout with this because of course it is a loose glitter, but there wasn't a lot. And I tend to find that if you just work in little sections with the glitter, that it doesn't leave as much fallout as it would if you went in with a huge chunk at first. So now this is where you see I decide to fill in all of the lid with the glitter. So I'm just filling the inner portion of the eye with some NYX glitter primer, and then I'll fill that in with some glitter as well. I really just felt like I wanted the whole lid to pop instead of just the center. So we're just applying that into the center, making sure it blends nicely with the glitter we did previously. Then jumping back into the Friendcation palette, I'm going to pick up the light brown shade first, and we're going to begin to connect the outer corner to the glitter. Now I know we have yellow placed down there at first, again because I wanted it to all be yellow, but then I changed my mind. So we're just going to pack on the brown shade at the outer corner, just using the nice pencil brush that we used earlier to apply that crease shade, and just begin to build it up. And then we're going to go in with the dark brown shade and deepen it up as well. With these, because it's meeting glitter, I like to stamp it on. That way it's a nice even. Lashes are on now and so are brows. So we're going to set the face using the E.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer. And I'm just taking some on bits of my hands, putting it on the T-zone area of my face, cheeks, nose, forehead, and just use that as primer today. Jumping into foundation, today we're going to be using the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation, and I'm going to put some on a Morphe brush and first apply that onto my face, blend that in with the brush, and then we're going to blend that in with the beauty sponge. Then for concealer today, we're going to be using the E.l.f. Cameo Concealer. This is the same one we used to cut the crease on the eyelid, but I'm just going to highlight my under eyes, my chin, forehead, and nose, and then begin to blend that in with our damp beauty sponge as well. This is in the shade Medium Peach for the E.l.f. Cameo. And then with this concealer, I do like to blend out quite quickly because it does dry down pretty fast. So just keep that in mind when you use this concealer. You want to blend it out pretty quickly. Now to set the concealer, we're going to go in with the Airspun Loose Setting Powder. I'm just going to take this on a Morphe brush here, put some on the brush, just a little bit, not too much, and then lightly pat this underneath the areas we put concealer, just to make sure that the concealer doesn't move, budge, crease, or do anything weird. For the rest of the face, we're going to go in with the CoverGirl Loose Setting Powder as usual, and I'm just going to take a Morphe brush here and begin to set the rest of the face so that our foundation stays into place and doesn't move throughout the day. I do tend to get a little bit oily in my T-zone area, so we definitely want to make sure we set that as well. And for bronzer today, we're going to be using the Morphe bronzer in Vlogger, the two-toned palette. I do like to just pick up both tones on the brush and just begin to put some color back into the face to bring us back to life here. I do put some on my forehead and my cheeks and just apply some color. That way we can top with blush and highlight. For blush today, we're going to be using the Milani Rose blush. And honestly, guys, blush has been growing on me, but I don't really use it all day, every day. But it has pretty much been growing on me. So far, so good. I just like to apply this blush onto the cheeks of my, or onto the apples of my cheeks. And not too much because I'm not too sure yet, but just enough so that you can tell. Then for the under eyes, we're going to pick up the light shade in the Friendcation palette and begin to blend this underneath the lower lash line with just a small brush here, starting from outer corner and then working our way to inner corner. Pretty much for the lower lash line, it's just going to be all brown tones that we used. I don't decide to put any yellow tones because I want the main focus to be on the lid. So we're going to take the dark brown shade and use a more pencil brush here and run this as close to the lash line as possible from outer corner to inner corner as usual, and then we'll blend it out again with the previous brush. For liner today, I'm going in with the Colourpop Honeysuckle eyeliner pencil. These pencils are literally a dream. They go on so easily. They apply so nicely. I feel like they last a lot longer than my other eyeliners that I have, and this nude liner just makes the eye look pop even more. It makes me feel more awake. It looks more awake. It is amazing. So today for highlight, I wanted to try a new highlight that I got at Target. This is the E.l.f. Baked Highlight, I believe, and it's such a gorgeous like golden sheen highlight. It isn't that pigmented, but it is a nice golden highlight just to add a little bit of natural highlight. You definitely can build this up, but it's not, you do have to go in a few times with your brush to get it more pigmented. I did line my lips here next with the NYX London lip liner, and then I'm going in with the Maybelline liquid lipstick here in Driver, and this smells literally like butter pecan ice cream. It is so freaking good, and I have been loving this formula from Maybelline. I just think the color and the smell, everything just looks amazing. Then I'm going to top that off with the Most lip gloss by Dose of Colors, Desi and Katie. This smells amazing too. It smells like cupcakes, but it's such a great topper, and it's even better when it's by itself, so it just adds a nice, perfect gloss. Setting the rest of the face here to make everything last, we're going in with the Milani Make It Dewy setting spray and setting that in just a little bit with our hands. But that is all for today's video, guys. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and then I will see you next time. Bye.